So I once had this dream where God God obscured the sun. The sky turned dark during the middle of the day. Dark clouds, in my dream it was dark clouds of some kind moved in. And these clouds made it dark enough that the street lights went on and the people's routines were changed. But when people pointed out, hey, this is one of the signs of the end of the world, other people denied it or minimized it. They explained the prophecy away, or they weren't impressed. And they're like, well, it's just dark. It's not a big deal. Like, storm clouds move in and things like that. But the miracle of the prophecy isn't the event in and of itself. It's knowing about it beforehand. The signs don't have to overwhelm you. Sometimes they do. Maybe the signs of the times will overwhelm us, but maybe it'll just get dark and people will be like, oh, hey, it just got dark. God's signs can't force you to believe them. They just stand there showing you the way, and it's up for you to follow them. They're like any other sign. But anyways, this dream made me think about that particular prophecy, that the sky would be darkened. And so I've done a study, and I've found several instances where they talk about this prophecy of the last days. And this prophecy is ubiquitous. It's all over the scriptures. It's in the Old Testament, the New Testament, Doctrine and Covenants, the Pearl of Great Price, and the Book of Mormon. So, for example, Isaiah 13, verse 10 says, "For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine." In Isaiah chapter 24, verse 23, it says, "The moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously." So the sun being ashamed, I think, is the sun will cover itself. Right. Moving on to in Ezekiel, chapter 32, verse 7, it says, "And when I shall put thee out, I will cover the heaven, and make the stars thereof dark. I will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon shall not give her light." Later on in Ezekiel, he compares God to a shepherd. And he uses this example in Ezekiel 34, verse 12. He says, As a shepherd seeketh out his flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered, so will I seek out my sheep, and will deliver them out of all places where they have been scattered in the cloudy and dark day." So God's going to gather his people in a cloudy and a dark day, a day where supposedly the sun will be obscured. In the book of Joel, it says in chapter 2, verse 10, "The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining." In Joel chapter 3, verse 15, it says, "The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining." And that's going to be in the day when the day of the Lord is near, in the valley of decision. So the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And then going on to the New Testament, in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 29, it says, "Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken." And then in the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verses 12.